try and get my opposite leg up as high as I can get it. Okay, so I'm going to sort of hold this to sort of hold him down initially and using that as an extra kind of a grip. And then from here, I'm just going to hang on with the same sort of hitchhiker type side here. I'm going to pull my leg up if I need and pass it over. Okay, so I'm going to try and get to this position here where my gi is actually holding my leg in place. Okay, now if you're able, so say you were here, if you're able to bring that up and pass it in one go, then that's fine. Okay, so from this position here. Now obviously the less flexible you are, the more likely you are to be down here somewhere. So what you can do is you can try and get a little bit more side on. When you're a little bit more side on, it kind of helps with that. So what we'll do instead, so if I'm not good flexibility wise, we're going to disregard that for a moment. Come underneath and I'm going to try and break this grip off here. Now I'm going to shoot. So when I break the grip, the hand that was on my own wrist is going to go under my own wrist. I'm going to bring him up like that. And now from here, I'm going to start to wrap over this arm. Now from this position, I can just kind of hang on. Then I'm going to start to stretch this gi out, just to get it sort of accessible more than anything. Okay, make sure it's there. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to hip escape. So I want to turn and face my opponent here. So rather than putting your feet on the ground and hip escaping, try and use your legs, kind of like, almost again like a scissor pair, like a pair of scissors type of action, and I'm going to hip escape. So I'm going to push into his ribs like that to switch onto my hip. Okay, so you can see like this, I'm kind of pushing down and up and turning in. The reason that's probably a little bit safer than feet on the ground and hip escaping is because if I do this, there's nothing holding Milton's left arm. So now in that moment he can post on my leg and just step straight over and start to pass. Exactly. And he might end up in half guard, he might end up passing and trying to gift wrap me, who knows, okay? But I can kind of avoid that. If I've broken his posture down, I can avoid that entirely by just using this leg action instead. Okay, because in that motion there, it's much harder for him to start to step over that leg. So now that I'm a little bit more side on, it's much easier. You can see how high I can get that leg now. Okay, and even if I wasn't as flexible, I'm still in a better spot here. So I get to my slightly side on position, I'm going to fight for that lapel again, and now from here, I'm going to bring my leg up, pass that off, and hold him down. So now when Milton tries to sit up, he's got to sit up against my leg as well. Okay, so it's nice and tight here. Now once I've got this position here, my original hand, so remember I was in this position here, I had my hitchhiker grip, I've gone up, come around. Or I might have had to pass it off like that, then I re-grip if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to get that position there. What I want to do is I want to use my original hand now, and I'm going to try and hold it palm down. So when I re-grip, it's no longer going to be my hitchhiker grip that I had. I'm going to go over the other way now. Okay, so instead of thumb pointing out, thumb pointing in. Okay, so I've got him up in this position here. I'm going to now come over the top. Now what I want to do is, I want to start now to encourage Milton to sit up. So I'm going to ease off a little bit. I'm going to start trying to work this foot that's free onto his hip. Because as I do that, I'm going to sort of push him and bump him like that. Yeah. Because I want to get him up a little bit. The idea is to sit him up enough so eventually this blade now will be in a position to choke. Okay, so I want to make sure that again, it's just below my thumb, this bone here is on the side of his neck here. If I have my hitchhiker grip still, I'm going to usually kind of get the flat of my arm more than that side even. So if I turn thumb in, palm down, I'm going to get to here. Okay. Now, from this position, I'm going to start pushing him. Yep, I'm just trying to posture him up. Okay, and now I'm going to start to threaten like I'm going to attack this arm. So now from here, if I need to, I can try and dig underneath his other arm. He usually doesn't want it down there. Where would you want your arm if you were wrestling? Probably on me or something. Yeah, so he's probably not just going to leave that there. So I'm probably not going to dig under his arm. I might dig under his leg, something like that. And now I'm going to threaten like I'm going for his arm. Because I'm not holding it, he's usually going to try and pull it out. But he knows that there's a triangle if I go to here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sort of kind of bait him into falling for a potential pass. So this leg, as it comes around, threatening that arm, I'm going to bring it all the way over his head on this side. So from here, he's going to get the arm out, and I'm going to go to here. All the way over. Okay, and now from this position here, I go deep, and I'm going to pull this again down across his neck, that kind of casting action here, and this leg is going to clamp down on the back of his neck, nice and deep here. Alright, so I've managed to pass it off from this position here. Again, if I need to, if I'm not super flexible, for instance, I'm under. Great. Bring the knees to your chest. Your hand goes from on top of your wrist to under your wrist. Bring him in. So he ends up with an underhook. We want to have him having the underhook for this. Hold him down. I kind of know where that lapel is. I can kind of feel it, and I knew that it was out because I already got it out. Now use my legs. Start to turn, and once you've got that little bit of an angle, you can just lock again. Okay, now if you want, you can just throw that leg up, try and hold onto it, and then go back and get this. I would suggest from here, try and get to that lapel and do it all in one motion. Okay, so my leg's going to come up. I can use my other hand as I need to bring it tight. Come around, and now I'm passing off. Again, we don't want to hold it like this. Okay, not thumb out. So when we do this little grip change, thumb down on the inside. Okay, now I'm going to start to sort of push him up. Use my hips. So I push him away with my hips, start to get this in, and I start to position my arm. Okay, if I need to, I threaten this arm. He doesn't want to get armbarred, yeah. And I can hold that leg if I can't get under. Cut my angle, go all the way over his head. So I'm not going triangle, I'm not going armbar. He probably knows that's coming and he's going to get his arm free. And then because he knows there's no armbar, he's thinking triangle. So then when I do this, he's either going to probably either posture up or bury his head down. Okay, so I go like this, he pulls his arm free. Yeah, he's either going to get his head up so he doesn't get triangle, or as he gets his elbow free, he's going to go really low so he doesn't get triangle. Yeah. Now from this position, I'm just going to hang on. Hip, pants, whatever you can get here. Pull yourself in, get your angle on your wrist, cut nice and deep, so get that up. Really accentuate getting that up. Clamp down, and now this is just like an armbar. I'm pulling down here as I start to put my pressure on there. Now, set off. So again, I start to come down on his head at the same time that I'm pulling this across his throat like that. Here, so if I'm like this and I'm low, not on the back of my knee, post your leg up, so really push your leg up, get it deep. Now from here, on. Now do one more time. So I've got that out already. Bring him in here, hip escape, get my guard, fight to get the gi, pass it off. Start to threaten this arm, he goes in, I pump him away with my leg. If I can hook, I do. Over. Clamp and pull.